Imagine walking onto a lot, and a dealer points to a used car and tells you it has 0 issues, mint condition, flawless. Your brain instantly hits the brakes. You immediately start scanning the undercarriage, looking for the rust, the worn belts, the hidden catch. We do the exact same thing when a company claims their product has 0 defects, or a job applicant presents a pristine resume. Whenever someone insists they never make mistakes, we automatically start digging for them. We are biologically wired to be skeptical. Attempting to project absolute flawlessness guarantees people will doubt your credibility. Which brings us to Robert Greene's 12th law of power. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. There is something cold and calculated about this premise. It frames human interaction as a process of disarming an opponent through specific, measured maneuvers. But if you look past the cynical phrasing, this rule relies on an accurate map of human psychology. It hinges on a strange paradox. How can deliberately exposing a weakness actually make someone trust you more? Go back to that car lot. This time, the seller points out a scratch on the rear door and mentions the tires will need replacing by winter. The dynamic flips. By validating your suspicion that the car isn't perfect, the seller stops being an adversary trying to hide the truth. They become a resource. Psychologists call this the pratfall effect. When someone reveals a minor, controlled imperfection, it slips right past our evolutionary radar. That single vulnerability validates their character. Once you accept they'll tell an uncomfortable truth, you are primed to believe the positive claims. Admitting a minor fault doesn't lower your status. It provides the specific evidence of honesty that a skeptical mind requires to lower its guard. You achieve a similar result through generosity. Think of a free software trial, a complimentary dessert at dinner, or a creator giving free advice. This triggers the principle of reciprocity. When someone hands us unexpected value, it creates a psychological imbalance. We instinctively want to settle the score. Upfront generosity dismantles resistance. When a pitch is finally made, the audience feels an obligation to return the favor. Providing value before you ask for anything is a calculated investment. It creates the leverage needed for future cooperation. If these cognitive levers work so reliably, the obvious temptation is to fake it, to perform vulnerability while hiding your real motives. But the human brain is an elite pattern recognition machine. It eventually spots when honesty is being used as a disguise. Once people realize they've been manipulated, the entire relationship breaks. Trust built on fake vulnerability is impossible to recover once the performance is exposed. Let's look at this in a real environment. Imagine a team facing a massive project failure. One manager immediately blames external factors to protect his reputation. The other steps up and says, "I made the wrong call here. Let's fix it." The manager who tries to remain spotless loses respect. The one who exposes their misstep often sees their authority grow. Owning reality shows a level of internal confidence that deflecting blame cannot replicate. It signals that you are more concerned with solving the problem than protecting your ego. You see the same dynamic with modern brands. Long-term loyalty flows to those who provide consistent, unvarnished value, rather than those who rely on heavily curated, flawless aesthetics. Accountability transforms a moment of potential weakness into a demonstration of character. It builds a foundation of respect that survives even the most difficult crises. There is a boundary to this law. Practicing honesty and generosity does not mean being naive. It doesn't mean oversharing damaging information or exhausting your resources to please everyone. Effective influence requires moderation, protecting your own boundaries while remaining authentically open to others. Power maintained through fear or the illusion of perfection is fragile, but credibility built on a series of honest interactions compounds over time. People rarely remember the exact words you said or the specific things you gave them. They permanently encode the feeling of safety you provided by being real with them. Letting go of the need to appear perfect creates a reputation that people can actually rely on. It turns your willingness to be honest into the very thing that makes others feel secure enough to follow you.